All right, guys, welcome to Kwesi Live TV, and welcome to this live debate that we're about to have between schools in or like schooling in the USA or is it Canada? I keep on thinking about Canada, but not Canada. USA, Germany, and then the UK. So I have my guest in the waiting room that I'll be adding very soon. So I'm just waiting for a few people to join. Then I can add them to the live stream, and we'll be able to have a conversation. So I mean, they are all going to tell us about why they chose the schools that they are studying in, why they choose the countries that they are in, and then why they are schooling at that particular place. So just bear with me for like some 2 minutes, and then I'll be back with you very soon. So I'll be adding my people very soon. Okay, so I have my guest in, and I don't want to waste much time because I know all of you guys are very busy, and it was a bit of a struggle to get you guys here. So first of all, how are you all?
Good, good.
I'm
Can you
good.
hear
Good.
me?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Nice to meet you all.
Okay, so KY's the scholar is in the USA. He's studying in the USA.
Okay.
Manuel Cranton is studying in the UK, and Fidaus Osman is also studying in Germany.
Mm,
So we'll
nice
start
to meet
off
you.
like pretty quickly because this live will be posted. So those who don't get to watch it live can still watch the stream when it's posted. So let me start with you, KY. So what's your can you tell us about yourself, your name, your background, what you did in Ghana before you traveled, and what you are doing right now?
All right. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah,
can hear
we can
you.
hear
Hello,
you.
everyone. Well, my name is Koku Osu. I'm currently studying at East Tennessee State University in the US, pursuing a second master's degree in information system with focus in data analytics. I had my bachelor's in accounting from the University of Cape Coast. I mean, one of the best in Ghana. And I graduated in 2020. So I had my national service with the same university for a year, and I moved to Hong Kong to pursue a 1 year master's degree in finance with focus in fintech and financial analytics. And I came to the state for second master's degree. So that is brief about me. Thank you.
Okay, that's like a very serious one, like a very serious this thing. Now, let me
Oh,
come to Manuel Cranton. Manuel, tell us a bit about yourself. You are blushing, like you're
I
looking
thought
so
you
good.
actually go. Let me just take off my lens. I thought you actually go and talk to Fidaus before you get to me. But
Now I want to talk to
um
you first.
well yeah, so well yeah, of course, my name is Manuel, definitely. I I worked as a journalist in Ghana, and so yeah, I did my undergraduate in University of Ghana. I did political science and philosophy. And then of course, while doing my undergraduate, I also worked as a student journalist, of course, with you, Christy, at Radio Universe. And then I went to Joy FM in Accra to my national service. I worked with them for a year, and then I came to the University of Sussex for. Well, unlike K Wise, who's doing his second masters, I'm just starting my very first masters in journalism and media studies at University of Sussex. So yeah, pretty much, I'm just trying to find my legs here. Nothing big around here. Unlike K Wise in the US, yeah.
Okay, so that was Manuel, University of Success UK. Now let me go to the only lady amongst us, Fidaus Osman, my very good friend.
yes.
Tell me about yourself.
As you said, my name is Fidaus Osman, and yeah, I'm from Ghana. And I studied metallurgical engineering in KNUST, And in Ghana, after my service, after my school, I had my service at Goldfields Ghana Limited, because my program is more of like a mining stuff. And then after national service, they didn't employ us, so I got a job as a sales engineer. I worked for a year. Then I moved to Germany in 2019 October to study material science and engineering masters. Yeah. So I'm almost done currently. Finding my grounds, looking for job.
Okay, so that's Fidel. So we have Fidels from Germany, KYs from the USA, Manuel Cranton from the UK. So, hi, my name is Kwesi Live. I also did my undergraduate degree at the University of Ghana, political science and Russian language, and I'm currently in the USA pursuing a master's degree in public administration at Bowling Green State University. I'm in my first year. Like I just finished with my first semester, and the second semester is coming up very shortly. So that's what I'm looking at doing. So I mean, let's start off pretty quickly and move on to some of the questions that we want to tackle for today. So who am I starting from? Ladies first. Fidaus.
No, no, don't start with me.
No, okay. I know who to start from. Manuel was adjudged the most promising journalist in Ghana this year at the
Wow.
GJ, is it GJ or GIG?
GIJ.
GJA Awards, Ghana Journalists
Yeah.
Association.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the most promising journalist. So let me start from you. What prompted your decision to move to the UK?
Yeah, that's absolutely unfair. I don't know the parameters on which you decided to go first with me, because
Because you're my friend.
yeah. So I mean, I have generally had a sense of direction on how my career is supposed to move. You know, so I started volunteering at Radio University. I did that for 3.5 years, and then I went on to Joy FM, did my national service for a year. In fact, I wanted to do my master's right after my national service, but turns out that the prospect of um, actually cementing my place at Joy FM, or if you like, the media space in Ghana, was better the year after national service. So I decided, why not? Because there were quite some useful opportunities available for me to tap into. And so I just had to amend the decision to do a master's right after national service and then work for a year while preparing for the master's degree. So the decision, if you like, is being part of a long chain of decisions, or if you like, a channel of actions that I'm supposed to take or I intend to take in building a successful career. So that's it. It's not, it wasn't, if you like, impulsive, and the decision to go and do a master's was is part of a bigger um, plan to build a useful career. And so yeah, I mean, of course, the very detail of how I did the application, when I did the application, and why I decided to do the application at the points that I did, and how I did it are different. I think a few people were really impactful and influenced my decisions in one way or the other. But generally, the decision to do a master's after uni has always been at the back of my mind, part of a bigger picture.
Okay, so that's good for yours. We'll come to how you went around with the whole process and the stress and everything that you went through. But let me come to KYs, who is representing the United States. Why you went to Hong Kong? You had Ghana, so why did you decide to come to the United States?
All right, thank you, Crazy Life. Well, I think it's very simple. I mean, if you look at US in general and you compare to other countries, it is clear to everybody that everybody or everyone anywhere in any country want to come to US. That is a fact.
I doubt
So,
else will agree with you.
regardless of
Well, I'll come to it.
I mean, what I want to do in the future, that fact is still the same. Everybody want to come to US, so I was having that too as well. But to say that was the main goal of coming to the US, I would say no, because you need to, if you want to travel, I keep saying that if you want to go anywhere, you need to ask yourself a couple of questions. And it should boil down to what you want to do or what you intend doing in the future. You ask yourself whether what you're going to do over there will help you to achieve that. And we all know that getting a credential from US university, regardless of, I mean, the level of the university, whether college or whatever that you go to, has kind of prestige outside. Even in US, it is more respected than other credentials from different countries. I'm not saying if you go to school somewhere, I mean, they don't, but I'm talking in terms of US regime and then also what is being perceived out there. So that was also another factor that actually pushed me to look for schools in the US to come study. So when I completed my undergrad, I was more to US and Canada, and then that opportunity to Hong Kong too came. A friend actually brought that idea, so I decided to just take it up. And I had fully funded from there. I had got a couple of offers too from US, but I mean there was no resource to take that one up. So I needed to go for the Hong Kong one and then just reorganize myself and come back to the US. So I came to US because I just want to study from US, get credential from here to pursue my future. That's it.
Okay, that's very perfect. I know a lot. Some people would disagree with you or agree with you on the point of everyone wanting to come to the US, and that presents the perfect opportunity to Fidaus to also talk about why she chose the Germany over USA or UK. KY is saying everyone wants to study in the USA. Do you think it's true?
Maybe majority of Ghanaians would like to study in the US because I mean everybody thinks US is the best country in the world. Everybody thinks, but yeah, everybody and what they like. So at the end of the day, that's what. But majority of Ghanaians, the fact is they like America. That one, America and UK, like they really like US and the UK. But yeah, for me, I was looking forward to do like a master's program. To be honest, I didn't really think I didn't. My mind didn't even go to US at all because all along I've had like Germany in mind. So I didn't actually even
I was
search
with
for
you on that.
schools. Yeah. Like to be honest, I didn't actually search for school. I didn't even start searching for schools at all. I was just concentrating on Germany and the fact that Germany also has a lot of tuition free schools. I was like, why not? And when it comes to engineering, like Germany is one of the countries that you would like to study like an engineering program there. So yeah, I went for Germany. But the main reason why I chose Germany was because of the funding, the tuition, because it was tuition free. And for me, getting the blocked account was not really a problem. So, um, yeah, I just went for Germany. That's it. And then it's also a safe place to live. So, and I wanted to learn a new language. So, yeah, that's why I chose
Great,
Germany. Mm-hmm.
great. So let me throw the question back to you, Fidaus. The second
Mm-hmm.
question that we have: what makes Germany, like moving to Germany as an international student, the best among the rest?
So, well, I'll not be biased. It's one of the best places to study when it comes to like the way of teaching, the way of learning. There's a lot of resources, a lot of facilities, and then after school you have that opportunity to stay. You have that 2 years post study work visa to stay and find a job and work and then start a life or something like this. So like yeah, Germany is one of the best places to study and live, and it's also like a very safe country to live in. Trust me, Germany is very, very safe. The only problem with Germany, I would say, is the language. If you're not ready to learn a new language, maybe after your master's, you should be ready to move to an English speaking country or a country where you find a language okay. And yeah, so I mean, and then Germany is one of the places, as I said, cost cost of studying in Germany is like
Mhm.
it's not expensive. The only problem has to do with the blocked account. But then even if you can't get these blocked accounts and you have a relative or a family friend living in Germany, you wouldn't have to have their block account. the person that will stand in as your guarantor and all of that. So in some way, you're not paying anything for school, like you're not paying anything. And then yeah, students are allowed to work on campus, off campus. You're not limited. Students are allowed to.
Also, it's not like the USA.
No,
You
no, no,
can
no.
work anywhere.
You can work anywhere so far as you're not breaching 20 hours. It shouldn't be more than 20 hours per week during school time. But during vacation, you can work as much as you want. But
Okay.
during school time, you shouldn't like cross the 20-hour limit. So yeah. And
Okay.
then studying in Germany, if you move to study in Germany, you have the opportunity to like visit a lot of countries because of the Schengen. You can go to Paris, Netherlands, wherever you want to, as far as you have the money and then explore, like yeah.
Okay. All right. So those are great points. Like free tuition, Schengen visa to travel. Like my biggest thing about the Schengen visa is the traveling. Like
Mm,
being able to go to the Italy, US, no, not US, Spain, Belgium, and those other places. Like
yeah.
it's one of the best. Yeah, but let me come to you, KYs. You are representing the USA. What makes USA like the best place for a student, international student, to move there instead of going to the UK or Germany?
All right, thank you. I think okay. Let me try to limit it. I mean, the fact is clear; it is out there already. If you're a student in US, there are a lot of benefits that you can enjoy. And one thing that actually prompted my action to come study in the US happens to do with funding, just as Fidel said in Germany. US is to a lot of schools have GA positions that pay for your tuition and gives you something at the end of the month, regardless of the cost of, I mean, accommodation or probably some program fee or some small tuition fees that you have to pay out of that money. You still have something to save. And one good thing is that the school just don't leave you, because when you get that opposition, you are also learning. When you get that position, you are also learning. So you are schooling and at the end of the day getting experience from maybe your graduate assistantship position too as well. That is also a good point. That is also makes a US an ideal place for anybody that want to study overseas. And the other point is that if you are being enrolled in a STEM program, you'll be having, I think, 3 years to work after graduation. Even though if you are in school, you cannot work outside school. That is the rule. And you are entitled to work just 20 hours on campus. So for that one, you can't
So
dispute.
what if you are not in the STEM program? How many years do you
If
get?
you are not in the STEM program, you get 1 year OPT after graduation to work, to make money. And at the end of the day, if you want to stay in the system, you need to find a company that will probably sponsor you for visa or something like that. Or you just back up, you have to leave the country. Yeah, and don't forget, we are all here to study to go help our country. We want Ghana to be like this country. So I always tell people that you don't look at what lies ahead. Think about education. That should be your goal, because you are here to tap into their knowledge, go back to help your country, so that one day your kids to or whoever that will come after you will also come and benefit from the country. And a lot of people, because of the mindset, they dispute that fact. But that is the fact. Come study, go back and help your country. That is the fact. So US have a lot of benefit for students. Just as I said, you get experience from probably your graded assistantship position. And there are a lot of people too from different countries over here that can help you to connect to as well. It can even happen that after graduation, you will get a work from Canada or any other country at all, due to the kind of people that we meet around, because you meet a whole lot, a bunch of people who are studying from different countries all over the world in any institution in US. So that also makes it an ideal to study in US. So I think if you look at these benefits compared to other countries that probably maybe you have an immigration intent, or that is the main goal of going there to study, it might be some way. But some of us that we don't have that, I think US is an ideal place to be. I mean, for studying.
Okay, I think everyone is trying to make a different point on its own, either immigration or free tuition or work experience by doing guide assistance. But Manuel, what does UK has to offer to international students?
I let me just serve this disclaimer. I don't first of all, I don't think that I have the, if you like, locus to speak for the US, with the UK, are very pardon on what it has to offer, to the rest of the world. But here's the thing, right? I mean, the US is great. Germany is fantastic, but I think at the end of the day, it all comes to what program that you're looking to read. Like Fidel said, when it comes to engineering and stuff like that, you're better off, going to somewhere in Germany, maybe, maybe China, maybe India, for these kind of or somewhere in the US, get around Silicon Valley, and maybe you're close by. But generally, I'm reading a program in media and journalism, and at least at the University of Sussex, it has the journalism program here is ranked as one of the highest in the world. And so, first of all, that's my consideration. And as a lot of people who have gone into grad school will tell you, you actually don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you do multiple applications to multiple schools based on the programs that you're looking forward to reading. So typically, I was looking at Columbia School of Journalism. I was looking at Berkeley. I was looking at LSE. I was looking at Cardiff University, and then of course Sussex. And I applied into all of these. Fortunately, I got into some. I feel like most. I got into most, and I don't know, did not follow up on the rest. But ideally, some of the things, the perks in the UK programs are unlike in the US, where you typically have master's degrees being like 2 years. Most of the master's programs in the US are 2 years. In the UK, you can do that for shorter. If you're doing a journalism program, for instance, in the US, it's going to be 2 years. But you can do that for 1 year, quite intensive. The only problem is it's a lot of work. And like right now that we're speaking, right after talking to you, I'm going to writing papers because I have deadlines on 5th January to meet. So I'm still writing papers through, Christmas and then New Year. But generally you get shorter time in school, which means that you get into the job market sooner than your other colleagues who say are in other programs in the US, in Canada, and so on. So yes, the timing is definitely key for me. You're going to do 1 year, and it's more intense. In the US, I'm told that you can, because you have 2 years. The program is packed with a lot of stuff which are actually not necessarily critical to your program. This may be a misconception, but you guys are the ones in the US. This is what I know. I know that you may do, you may take other courses that are not, say, if you're doing journalism, you may take other
Yeah.
courses that are not necessarily journalism. But in the UK, we go straight to the point. You do your journalism intensive 1 year and you're gone. And because you have 1 year, if you're a serious student, you know that Charlie, this is just Nancy and me fiako. So you're going to put everything in it. You don't have the luxury of time to say, oh, and yes, you guys can catch up next semester, I can catch up next 2 semesters, and so on and so forth. So yeah. And then like Fidel said, in Germany, the case is similar in the UK also. You can work on campus, off campus. Just keep to your 20 hours per week limit on your visa, your student visa, and then you're okay. But during vacations, you can go all the way to full-time work during vacation. And that gives you access to very well paying jobs, especially within your field of study. If you are doing journalism, so you can take up a journalism role, for instance, at ITV, at the BBC, at Sky, wherever, and you get that experience and also get paid for it. The cost is also very important. I'm told that in the US, you get a lot of funding options, which
Uh-huh.
is good, which is good.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
on average, right? On average, in the UK, you're looking at between £18,000, £24,000, £25,000 per, for the master's degree program, right? And this applies to even Ivy League schools like LSE, like like Cambridge, like Sussex, and the rest. But
Mhm.
in the US, even though typically for public unis and so on, you may be paying less when you go to the Ivy League schools, the Harvards, the Yales, the Columbias, and the rest, the cost shoots up drastically. I know that you could be paying around
Mhm.
15,000 dollars for maybe a public university in the US, but you could pay as
Depends
much
on the
as
program,
40.
though.
Well, yeah, well, of course, it depends on the program, definitely. But I mean, if you're, I'm talking about a program that is so typically for a program like journalism, you could pay up to as much as $35,000, $40,000 in say
Mhm.
Colombia, you know, yeah, and so that is another consideration. Even though you're not going to get most often like the assistantship programs that you have in the US, the cost is comparatively cheaper,
Cheaper.
and
Okay.
also yeah, yeah,
Cheaper.
yeah, yeah,
In the
comparatively cheaper
UK?
because yes, in the UK it's
For
comparatively
real?
cheaper
How?
because you are doing 1 year first of all, not
Uh-huh.
2 years like in the US,
Okay.
and then even in private school like Starstex is a private university, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
My program's fees is not up to £20,000. Okay,
Okay.
it's not up to £20,000. This is an Ivy League school, which is a private school also, but it's not up to £20,000. I don't think that you can get that package in the US of less than $22,000. $22,000 in say Yale
I
or
mean,
Harvard
okay,
or
okay.
Can
Columbia.
I can I come in
I
before?
would like.
Can I come in
No,
before
It's
you
a
you have like,
finish?
minimum.
Yeah, can I come in
Me come
before you
no,
again.
it's
finish?
like you have like a minute to rebut what he's saying concerning the
Okay.
cost.
All
Since you're
Oh
in
right.
the
wait, okay,
US.
okay, okay. Then let me just finish
Okay.
my point
I
so
just I
that
just
Okay,
you
want
can.
okay,
to
let you
I
finish.
just want to come in with something.
Okay, let me finish my point and then you can correct
Yeah, let
the
him finish
one
with
That's
his
fine.
point,
because
then you
I
come back in.
all I'm saying, I have not done the school in the US, and so you probably would have better information um than I do. But also for most unis in the UK, you don't need the GRE and GMAT tests, right? Unlike in the US, when for most of them it's actually a requirement. You need to write GRE and so on and so forth. Of course, sometimes you have to write the IELTS, the language test. But for my school, for instance, Sussex, if you are applying from a Commonwealth country, right, like an English speaking country, you have the option to provide other alternatives. Like, so for instance, I use my WASI English results. I didn't have to write IELTS like a lot of other people wrote. And it's not like I don't understand English because the English test is to be able to ascertain whether or not you are qualified. Your language is the quality of your language at the level where you are qualified to do the program. And so yeah, and that's another, if you like, high side over here. And finally, I think Germany is cosmopolitan. The US is also very cosmopolitan. The UK is highly cosmopolitan in for varied reasons. And now, what's even better, at least for international students, is that because of Brexit, a lot of EU nationals who ordinarily were filling job roles in the UK have left, and so there's a lot of and this is a
You're
high
happy
side
they
of
left.
Brexit. This is a high side of Brexit for international students who are looking to work in the UK. There are a lot of vacancies for international students who actually want to work here because there are lots of EU nationals who have left the UK because of Brexit. That's something that at least at the moment you don't have in Germany and you don't have in the US. This is maybe
Okay,
a typical high side that I'm just thinking about. Yeah,
okay. So
the
But
scholar,
wait,
is
do you
coming to
know
mark me.
the same Brexit is affecting them now?
uh-huh.
The
The
same
same Brexit is
Brexit
doing what? Is doing
is
what?
affecting the UK economically. The same
Well,
Brexit.
well, yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, but I am, of course, with all the downsides of Brexit, I am only arguing that for international students, it
Mm-hmm.
is good news because there are a lot of vacancies that you can apply for, and actually take up because of Brexit. Vacancies that ordinarily would not have been available if the other EU nationals were around.
But
Yeah.
Manuel,
So,
would
yeah.
you also agree that since they are no more part of EU, then the other EU nationals can now be counted as international students?
Well, yeah. So typically for a lot of the UK universities, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have locals referring to regular Brits, they're citizens of the UK. And then they have international students. And then they have another category for EU students. So the EU students are international students, but they have a different dispensation, away from what is available for at least like people like me who are from Ghana or people from India, China, the rest of the other parts of the world who are not necessarily part of the EU. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let me give KY's the opportunity. I think you have 30 seconds, 1 minute to.
Yeah, I just want to touch on the funding aspect that you just spoke about. Trust me, if I'm to tell you the truth, USA has the best funding for international students. And you have nothing to say about it because in UK, when you're looking for funding, you are always boxed to your department. That is what normally happens. But in USA, almost all the schools, you can apply to funding in any department. As long as you're a student, you have your admission letter from that school. So there's no point for you to worry yourself when you're not getting funding from your department in most of US schools. You can be looking elsewhere, different departments within the university that can fund you.
Okay.
And it's very simple. You just have to have probably the small skills that you're looking for the position. And they're going to pay your tuition. They give you stipend. What is better than this? So I don't think
Thank you. Why? I think that you should put in an application for me to come to the US.
You're supposed to be talking for the UK, but you see the way Germany is like relaxed because she doesn't have to go through all of this.
I honestly disagree with KY when he says that the US has the best funding opportunities for international students. I think, on hindsight, the Scandinavian countries actually have better funding opportunities for international students. Like Norway, Sweden, and the rest. Their unis are not as popular as the unis in the UK or in the US or in Germany. But in Norway, at least I know about Norway. In Norway, particularly, their funding offers are really generous, and also
I think in Norway, I think in Norway the only thing is it's just like in Germany, no tuition fees, but then you have to, and then but their blocked account is way expensive than the Germany.
Like generally, like forgetting scholarship unless you are going to study with fees. One of the best places is like Europe and the Scandinavian because mostly it's tuition free, especially Germany. All public schools are tuition free. So let's say if you don't have money to pay fees, but you have this obligatory letter from your relative, you can actually study in Germany like for free. You're not paying a dime. You're only paying a semester fee of like 200 euros. Some schools 50 euros per semester. So yeah. But like to be honest with you, UK
that's actually cheaper than free SHS in Ghana.
And like this is what we call proper free education, right?
Yeah.
Proper free education. And for UK, to be honest with you, I think the fees there are outrageous. Like and just recently they brought the post-study work visa, and I feel like they were just exploiting students. Why would you take so much from me and you wouldn't let me stay? And they just brought this post-study work visa. That's good, and I'm happy they brought that because in the past they were just exploiting people so much. The fees are outrageous. UK, Europe, UK, there's no resources. They get their money from international students.
Absolutely, I agree with you. But when
the US has the best funding in the world, like that one is the truth.
You can't.
No, I
still would
stay with the Scandinavian countries. The funding is good. Of course, the application processes are more tedious, but the funding is. The funding opportunities in the Scandinavian country. But again, at least I know in Germany, I know a friend who was literally adopted by the university, funded first master, second masters, and and funded her PhD in Germany. And I think that it happens with a lot of other people who are doing schooling in Germany and
Yeah.
other parts of.
Yeah, I mean there are that scholarships you could apply
Exactly.
to,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and so
Okay.
the school also has some funding itself, some small money here and there. So yeah,
You
Yeah,
can take
I,
like
I,
maybe
I
it's
think
20.
I
not
have
as
to,
big as
I
the
have to,
money
I have
from
to
the
share this.
US.
I have to share this with our audience. I mean,
Mhm.
we are all talking
Guys,
about
quickly.
funding,
Then
but let's look at the probability of getting to as well. That is the most important thing. And I
The
see
probability of
US to
getting
be one
what?
of the best. I mean, getting funding from these
guys,
countries
Okay.
that you are
come
looking at.
again. Okay, the probability of getting the funding.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that is the most important thing, and it should be one of the drivers to anybody that want to study. I mean, getting to US system is not that difficult. Getting funding to US system is not that difficult compared to Germany or other. I might be because I've already limited my research to Canada, US, and then the Hong Kong that I went to. So I know more of that. And UK too, I did a bit about it, but I wasn't really interested because it was too tedious. Man. I had offer from Sterling that they gave me scholarship and they were asking me to pay about I think £1,000 or so before they will release my document for visa process and co.
The visa.
Yeah, I just turned the offer down. That is it. Because
Chale,
why
kakra
would you
padi
want me?
am
I
I
mean, why
keep
would
this
you want me
schooling?
to pay that amount? By coming to US, you will not pay anything till you get here. And when you get here, till you have your offer, if you're being given a graduate assistantship, that one cater for your tuition, and probably if you have some program fee, depends on the program that you're reading, you might be paying maybe $1,000 per semester. So you use that of your stipend to pay that. Some of it, not all, because every month you'll be earning enough money that will cater for that. So you can do some kind of payment plan. You pay it monthly. Some schools pay less than, I think some schools pay less than 500. It depends on your program that you're reading. If you're in STEM program, it's kind of expensive. Yeah, that is the notion over here. But I didn't know your
Okay,
stipend is enough
so-
to pay for that. So I think US is cool. Everybody should
Yeah.
be coming to US.
So I think everyone is making like solid
Everybody,
points.
everybody should come to the US.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, everyone is making their point. I want to just pass through some comments we've had and move on to the next point. So this one is from Francis Amunze Manuel. I want a headset for your Christmas gift. Okay.
Hey, who,
And this one in Okwam. Okay, thanks for supporting. And if this is your first time here, like please try and subscribe to the channel, okay? And I'll put the channel links to my guests in the comment section so that you can also subscribe to their channels. Francis again said, not everyone wants to be in the US. We know that's why there are people in Germany and UK and other places. Samuel Kaikoi says, super, thank you. And Erica Hammond is asking, what is a blocked account? I think Germany, Fidaus, you're the one talking about the blocked account.
Yeah, so blocked account. So Germany say, okay, I'm giving you free education, but you have to show that you can take care of yourself. So how would you show that you're supposed to have 11,000 euros in your account? And I'm going to keep this 11,000 euros for you and give it to you every month for 12 months.
It's free.
Yeah, and if you don't have these block accounts, do you have a family or a friend here who can support you? Okay. Then
you have
the
it.
arrangements can be done. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I can a block account, yeah.
Okay, so 11,000 euros. Manuel can use it to pay part of his
God.
fees, but I mean that is like cost and effect.
that's like
But,
half of my fee.
Man.
yeah.
Literally, you're paying it yourself.
Yeah.
And the price says, don't you face language issues finding jobs in Germany?
Definitely. For especially for part-time jobs, that one you can find, you don't have to talk. There are some jobs you don't have to talk, and they know, and yeah, it's fine. But like after school, there are international companies that speak English. But the best, if you can learn German before you graduate, you have so many opportunities. So why not learn the
Okay.
language? It's better.
All right. Friends again said, well, majority of USA schools are waiving the language requirements now, except a few. Yeah, I also didn't write any form of IELTS, TOEFL, whatever. I think most of the schools have Ghana as part of the countries that they are waiving for. So if you're from Ghana and some other English speaking countries, then they'll waive it for you. And Getting admissions into Scandinavians is hellish, but yes, funding is good. I think I tried some Scandinavian countries. I got a couple of them, but I mean, USA said I'm here, and I had to go. And you guys are winning Manuel over. Manuel wants to move to the US now.
Well, I don't want. Well, let me just clarify. I don't want to move to the US. I want to stay in.
You want to go back to Ghana?
What particularly for my program, a lot of the policies that we have in Ghana sort of have their roots in the UK. And so if you like, the media law and regulations that we have in Ghana are synonymous to what you have in the UK. The standards and codes that we use in Ghana are synonymous to what we use in the UK. And
Okay.
pretty much all of the other opportunities are very synonymous. So I think that's really my bias towards the UK. A lot of things are synonymous to what you do in Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And Eric Amon is saying completely outrageous. I'm thinking I think she's thinking
The
about the
fees.
blog
The
account
fee.
here.
Yeah, the block account.
11,000 euros.
Yeah.
And this one is from Henry Farm. I said, but how does US have the best funding opportunities? Most of my friends struggle to get funding for masters apart from loans, etc. Most fundings were only towards the PhD. Okay, can you?
Yeah, I think Henry, let me clarify it for you. What is in US education system is that if you are coming as an international student and you gain admission, even with graduate assistantship, there's that kind of amount that will be estimated that you should be able to have bank statement or any statement to show that you have that amount to prove that you have that amount that you can pay off that amount before the school release what is called I-20 to you. So that makes it a bit difficult for a lot of people. Let me generalize it. Yeah, to get that statement to get probably the right document for their visa process. But the truth is, when you get into the system, if you manage to get all your documents, and you get into the system, there's that kind of opportunity for you.
Okay.
That's the point. So your I-20 can be showing huge amount, but after getting into the system, you realize that you're just paying a peanut. That is how it is within the US system.
Okay.
And it is one of the strategies that I don't have any idea about it. Yeah.
Okay, let me take this one. I think this one goes to you, Manuel. Manuel, I've gained admission to University of Dundee, and I've gotten a funding of 5,000 euros, but I think it's pounds, probably, but they are still insisting I make a payment of 3,000 pounds before I can get the documents to process my visa. Manuel.
Yeah. So I think, so for instance, the University of Sussex, I don't know particularly about Dundee, but the University of Sussex has a particular scholarship for African students. I know of this particular one for Nigerians, right? It's a 2,000 pound scholarship, right? Now this 2,000 pound scholarship is almost like a waiver, so it's just credited to your account automatically, and you don't have to pay for it. So it's subtracted from your bulk school fees, but you have to make what do you call it? A deposit of a commitment fee, like committing to the fact that when we give you the past documents, you are going to actually come to the university. It's almost like registration fee. Maybe that's the closest to what I can compare it to the system that we have in Ghana. Yeah, you have the scholarship, but make us know that you are coming to actually come to the school, and not just because we've given you the scholarship. And that 5,000 pounds, I don't think is a full complement of the school fees. It's just probably just a part of it, right? And so you have to pay that 3,000 pounds and then confirm to them that we are actually coming to school to send the documents to us. Unless you have a full scholarship, a full tuition scholarship where maybe from a government agency or from a private agency that can give you a letter of guarantee that we're actually going to pay this person's school fees. Then you can send that letter to them, and they'll send you the cash documents without you having to pay any amount.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll come back to the questions here, but let's move on to our topic. I think we have just two more things to cover, and then we'll be done with the debate. So, who am I saying from? K, what are the opportunities, like the job opportunities for international students in the USA when they are done with school?
Yeah, I think let me start it this way. I mean, we all know what is happening globally, and if you have been following news, you realize that US happens to be in shortage of labor, and for that matter, not in labor, but in skilled labor specifically. So most of companies are struggling to get the right people for most of the positions that they have, and as a result, they are kind of employing a lot of international students, which sounds good for those that intend to stay. Yeah.
But you're not part of us.
That intend to stay.
You're not part of the folks who want to stay, are you?
Oh no, I don't have that plan yet. Maybe it will come later. unless I guess
he's a patriotic
we pray that plan never comes through. We need you in Ghana. We need you in Ghana. Our ancestors need you in Ghana.
I guess some big deal that probably will help me. But we all want to gain experience to go help our country. So if it's at the end of the day, it comes that way, I'm going to be here, work for a while and leave. That's it. Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make that there are opportunities. A lot of companies are trooping in for international students, and they are providing them with work authorizations in order to be in the country. Because I don't want to say this, but let me say it on a lighter note, because they've realized that their citizens are kind of lazy. I'm not saying that's the fact, but it is not because they're lazy, because going to school over here is expensive, and most of them, they don't get scholarship as we, the international students, gain to enter into their system. They have to resort on loans and other stuff, and they are not able to do so. So they tend to leverage on maybe their college certificate or whatever to be working around. And these top companies too are looking for maybe candidates with masters or something like that. So it is becoming really hard over here. If you're a student in the US, that is one of the advantages that you can consider after your program of study. And I keep saying that if you come in a STEM program, that is science, technology, engineering, mathematics program, if you come in any of these programs, after your graduation, you have 3 years, and companies will be willing to employ you. So there's that for you. Even if you don't want to stay, you can still use that 3 years to make something better for your life. I mean, for the rest of your life. So that also makes US, stand out from all other countries. And if you want to stay, there's that way for you. Just pass through the system and move forward. That is, so I think if you're an international student here, there's a lot of opportunity too as well. Yeah. And it's open. US is open. It is free. You can do whatever you want in the US.
I think this is one of the points. You can never do whatever you want in the US. Please. You can do whatever you want in the US.
You can do. It is land of that is the truth. It is a land of opportunities that can help you to.
Henry Farmer. I think Henry Farmer is saying in the comments box.
Is it this one?
The chat box that or say every country is searching for skilled labor, but getting a job is hard. Abroche is scam. This one, the one that's on the screen now. Abroche is scam. This one.
This one is coming. Yeah, but I think this is one of the points where I would save the last for the UK manual. Let me come to Fidaus. What are the job opportunities for international students? I think you're still muted.
You're still muted.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So for international students, there are actually opportunities, but it all boils down to your study program. I feel like there are some study programs where even the natives of the country, there are a lot of them doing it. So there's going to be a lot of competition there. Now, when you look at the sciences, the engineering, you don't find so many of them there. And in that area, there are like industries IT are popping up. Car, especially in Germany, you have a lot of cars and stuff. Car industry, BMW, chemical, energy, And if you do a course like sociology, political science, finding a job might be very, very hard because most of their
Yeah.
natives are doing those courses, and you have to. They might even take their natives before you, like. And then now, if you're studying a course like political science or something, you have to know like German very, very, very well. Like you have to know German well. But if you're in the sciences, you could easily go into an international company where like there are a lot of internationals, so everybody speaks English. So I feel like getting a job, it all boils down to this thing, your study program. And then in Germany, it also boils down to your knowledge of the language. That one, I feel like if you can speak German, then you have like maybe 90% chances of getting a job. And if you can't speak German, then you have like 50% chances. So if you study German, the better. But I know like a lot of people that I know here who have studied in my school and are finished, they can't speak German, but like they got jobs with like, I mean there are jobs that you just have to speak English and it's fine. But like yeah, if it's I feel like if you speak German then you have more and more opportunities. Yeah, and
Opportunities.
that's one of the downsides of studying in Germany, like the language. You have to know the language. Yeah. But there are job opportunities definitely
Yeah.
because the people I know who have graduated are actually working. So yeah.
Okay. Like you have to speak Deutsch. You have to learn Deutsch.
Yeah, Deutsch.
The language that looks like critical thinking.
That's the
It's very
problem, right?
difficult. The language is difficult, trust me.
That's the problem.
Okay, Manuel.
Yeah. So, what's the question? What's the question?
Job prospects, please.
Job prospects. I mean,
BBC.
I already laid a foundation about the
Mhm.
the gap that's been created by the Brexit and the general exodus of um, citizens, or if you like, EU citizens in the UK. So literally everywhere you go in the UK, there is, one or two spots that have been left vacant because
Whoa.
people have left. But generally, in the UK, what I've learned is a lot of companies have what they call these graduate programs. In Ghana, we do national service, and that's like the main channel of recruitment for companies, especially the private companies that are looking to hire entry level roles and hire people for entry level roles. In the UK, they do graduate um, internships and graduate traineeship. So you apply for the job. So for instance, you could the BBC I know has and I'm talking about the media houses because that's where my interest is tailored towards. So the BBC, Bloomberg, for instance, um, Sky, and a couple of other media giants in the UK have graduate programs. So right after your program, as in your schoolwork, they take you in, and this is synonymous to what you do as a national service person in Ghana. So they take you through the system and do all the training, show you, how to do what at what time in the company. And depending on how smart you are and how teachable you are, you can steal your spot in the company as a real employee.
Mhm.
And really a lot, and the data from here, a lot of the people who get recruited into entry level roles are recruited through the graduate programs. And it's not just in the media, in sales, in marketing, in engineering, in banking, accounting, wherever. A lot of the companies have these graduate programs. And a good thing also is some of these companies provide sponsorship for your stay. So even before the postgraduate visa program came through, like Vidas was talking about, after the degree, after the master's or after whichever program that you're doing, when you get into these graduate program, the graduate assistantship programs or internship programs, the companies that are taking you on sponsor your visa. So just like now that I am in the UK on the sponsorship of my university that provided documents for me to stay here, if I got into a graduate program run by a company that sponsors employees to stay here, they are going to issue new documents for me with the Home Office so that I can stay here in the name of the company that I'm working for. And so I don't have to necessarily go through the stress of visa extension and all of those things. You could just go through that, and with time you can just find a space to get. But now, fortunately, they have the postgraduate visa route. I think it's a 5-year route to citizenship or residency rather.
To LPR.
So now, a BRP. That is what the biometric resident permit. So now you can get 2 years right after your program on your own to work here with a possibility of extension, but generally the jobs are available because of the vacancies that have been created. And depending on how smart you are and how innovative you are, there are even more opportunities for you. And now it is even better because of the postgraduate visa program that's being run by the Home Office. Yeah.
Okay, so like great point by everybody. One, USA, you have to, if you go with STEM, then you have 3 years to find a job or like to work. In Germany, try and get the language, and in the UK, you can use the postgraduate work permit and the graduate work permit route. So let me go through the comment section quickly, then we'll go for the last point, then we'll call it a day. So this one is from Henry Farmer. It says, Manuel, the blocked account is not a payment system. It is literally your own money that is released to you on a monthly basis. So you cannot compare it.
Yeah, I know about the block. I know the block account, right? But yeah.
So it's not you paying,
but you have to. It's your own money, but you have to get 11,000 euros first.
At once.
Least at the time that we're coming, at least for this September program, €1 was around 15 or 16 cities.
Imagine.
And so if you are doing even 10,000 euros, that is 16,000. And 16,000.
It's still better than the UK though.
What, Charlie? You
1.5 billion
is better.
It's still better than the UK though.
It makes more sense when you mention it like the way you mentioned 1.5 billion. You have 1.5 billion. 1.5 billion.
It's
like you're making a savings. It's like deposit this money, I'll be paying back to you every month.
Yeah, but you see, you are going into the program like right after national service. Unless you are like Fidels, that your parents have a lot of money.
Yeah, I think
unless you're like Fidels, your parents have a lot of money to sponsor you and put some 11,000 euros in some account to be dished out to you monthly.
But wait,
you really can't make it. Can you?
Manuel, wait. It's still cheaper than the UK. Way cheaper.
But you're paying in UK. You're paying £50,000.
Henry, are you hearing the Fidels? 11,000, no. 11,000 is still cheaper.
No, but
it's cheaper than £50,000.
I'm coming. I want to get something. It seems US is exceptional here.
I know. US is exceptional.
Wait. Aside from blocked account, you have scholarship. You have that scholarship.
Yes.
You have the obligatory options in Germany.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who came here with the obligatory letter because they have family, friends who live here or relatives. The person must not even be your relative. There should be like, oh, I know you. I'm going to pay for you. I'm going to. The person. It's just on paper that okay, I'm going to sponsor Kwesi to study here. It's just on paper. But that doesn't mean
the Home Office in Germany. I hope the Home Office in Germany is listening to you. They're coming to you.
No, listen. It's not like the obligatory letter. It's on paper that I'm taking care of Kwesi. But it's not like the government of Germany is going to deduct money from my bank account to Kwesi's bank account. No.
Cool.
Yeah. So we have that options. Apart from block account option, you have scholarship option. Then you have obligatory option. So Germany is one of the best places to study.
Yeah, but there are scholarship options everywhere, right? There's scholarship options in the UK also. And look, when you are on government funded scholarship like Chevening, I know people who are on Chevening scholarships that are literally living the best life, the best lives that they could ever live.
No, but
You
Manuel,
know,
how accessible is that? How many people are sponsored to that? Considering the number of people who
That
gain
apply in
admission
See,
to
let
every
me
the
tell
UK,
you, UK
and then
is
the
the
number of
bottom. UK is the bottom when it comes to funding. Don't even UK is
that
the
is the truth. I
bottom.
think so. I agree
Seriously.
with you there because
Yes,
UK
UK
is
is too
tough.
expensive.
Even after
Come
getting
on.
the scholarship,
yeah. Daniel
after
Open
getting the
says Manuel
scholarship,
UK on
they are
any
gonna
day.
send you information that you have to make this deposit before we give you the cards for your visa process. That is
Uh-huh.
that is quite
you
challenging.
you
It's
see,
what
because
if you are
you don't
denied?
want to bring people into the country and people who are not able to fend for
No,
themselves.
at
It's
That's
least
what
just
you
like
want to do.
Germany. That's why they say bring
let's
a blocked
try
account.
let's try to make this thing straight here because if you are saying you don't want to bring anybody at all to your country, what do you mean? Because the person is coming with the intention to study, right? So at the end
Yeah,
of the day,
but
the person is coming to
you will
turn
not
into
just be studying.
to your
The
country
person
resources, the knowledge and everything. So why would
but
you make the
the
person
person
make
will not
deposit?
just be studying. The person must
You
be
don't have to
alive first
mandate such
to
person to make
study,
deposit
right?
because the person is coming to study.
The
For all
person
you
must be
know, the
alive to
person might
study.
be that person
See, let
might
me
be a
tell
great
you.
asset to
If
your country in the future.
Yeah.
Well,
So why
yes,
would you
I mean
mandate that
that's
person to pay money before
well,
you
that
yeah,
is
release
why there are
document to the
scholarships.
person
Look,
for? I
that is
mean,
why there are scholarships. Look, there
mhm.
are so many scholarships in the UK. So
how
many,
many
and
people get these scholarships? How many people
before we
compared to
started,
the US?
that is
before we
that
started,
is why I keep saying that if you want to study, US should be your priority. Yeah, that is the fact.
If you want
It
to
should be
study,
US should be if you want to study
Germany should
outside,
be your
US should be
Okay,
your
priority.
so
it should be
guys,
the
I'll give you the
priority.
chance to
Yeah,
come
then
up
you
with
have
your
if
closing
backup. That's
statement
fine because you
before you
can
come to
put your
the
well,
head in one basket.
if you want to
Yeah.
be a global leader, I mean, you know where to go.
I
All
Let's
right, let me
let's
go to the comment
let's end the
section.
debate.
Sally Dobson says, I'm watching. Thank you very much. Henry Farmer once again says, but how much fees you going to pay for the UK?
Uh-huh.
The blog account is way better, bro. Okay.
Listen,
Yeah.
right? In the UK,
Uh,
if you have to study and work at the same time, it's so
yeah.
hard.
Francis says, Chevening, Manuel, you is. Yeah, he brings it this. I said before you mentioned Commonwealth in addition to Chevening, UK is knocked out of this debate.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
But
I think it
yeah,
is clear
I mean,
to everybody. It is clear to everybody.
Yeah.
UK scholarship, aside how it is being structured, I think it's also difficult to get school that will even give you enough scholarship for you to
Yeah.
make the initial deposit that they are asking for. But in US, I mean, come on, no school. I think it's only few school that will ask you to pay some. Is it $500 or so? Are we still there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you?
What happened?
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
here.
it's
I
only
think
few
Manuel
schools.
just left. But
It's only
before,
few schools. Majority
yeah,
of the schools will not ask you to pay a penny till you get to the system. And when you get to the system and you have funding, they are going to use your funding letter to actually do some sort of payment plan for any cost that you're supposed to pay on campus. That is it. So at the end of the day, you have money for you. I mean, for yourself, for your rent and other bills that you've got to pay at the end of the month, and
Yeah.
you're not paying anything. That's it. Because the money is not for you; it is for them. They are giving to you for you to study. But then, what's your
Okay.
problem?
Let me tell you guys, studying in the US is very good. It's funding, what else? But Germany, very peaceful.
Okay.
You are working and you don't have to worry about somebody holding a gun on you.
Okay.
Like it's you know what I'm talking about. So amongst all these three countries, you guys,
Oh my God.
willkommen in Deutschland. Deutschland is better. Like you guys should come and study in
what am I
Germany
doing?
because listen, let me tell you, I don't have to enter a supermarket and I'll be worried that some psycho is behind me holding a rifle.
No.
Do you get?
I think you are getting everything wrong. US
Well,
teaches
no,
you to
it's
Okay.
also part
Okay.
of the
that is your point.
safety.
I'll come back.
It's a
I'll come back
point.
to you guys.
Discipline.
It's a
Give
point.
us your closing remarks. Yeah.
No.
Okay. So let me start from you, Fidaus. Give us your closing remarks. What do you have to say to people watching? Why should they come to Germany? What encouragement do you have for them?
Yeah. For me, what I say is, you should go to where you think you would like. At the end of the day, if you don't gel well with the country, it might even affect you psychologically. So if it's US, you want to go there. If it's I mean, every country has its pros and cons. Like Germany, I can tell you a lot of cons, a lot of negative stuff about Germany. I can tell you a lot of positive stuff about Germany. So, but all in all, some comments. Somebody says a racist comment. That's not a racist comment. That's a fact. That's what happens in the US. It's a fact. It's not a racist comment.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all in all, before you go to a particular country, maybe you can look at the program.
Welcome
If
back, Mr.
um,
Manuel.
if the program has
Thank you.
prospects in that particular country, definitely go for it. And yeah, for me, I encourage everyone to come study in Germany. Let me tell you, Germany can be your starting point. Maybe you want to be in the US one day. You can start from somewhere. Maybe you've applied visa. I know like getting also the US visa can be very hard. Can start from other countries and then you end up at another place. Who knows? Like just start from somewhere. You can start from Germany and you might even end up in Germany. So yeah, that is it.
Okay, that's strong. Okay,
Yeah. I think what I
well,
want
what
to
do you have to
leave,
tell us?
yeah, what I want to leave to our audience is that I just want to break everything down to 5 main points why you should come to study in the US. And then the first one, the first one
Small
happens to do with academic
manifesto that
excellence.
they are reading on this shoe.
I think the first one happens to do with academic excellence. No two ways about that. Credentials from US has a higher prestige compared to other countries. You can't dispute that fact. And then the other point that I would also like to talk about happens to do with flexible education system. Because in US, courses are not being imposed on students. You have your own course structure for the program that you're reading. So you decide which course to offer in a particular semester. You have to make that your own decision. What you favor is what you do within the semester. So I think it's also one of the selling points why you should come to the US. And then the third point too happens to do with the support. I mean, there's a lot of funding opportunity too for you in coming to study in the US. That also makes, good point for you to consider. And then the fourth one happens to do with the cultural issues. There is a diverse community in all institutions in the US. You get a point to meet a lot of people that will help you to get somewhere. You will also have the chance to create a lot of connections too, because it is not only US. Maybe you are not destined to make your life in the US, but maybe through that connection you can go somewhere that will actually help you. So I think that is also a good point. And then the vibrant campus life.
Ah.
They're lying.
In the country, call football, soccer, and they call handball, different type of handball football.
Come on. It's so fun to be here, man. Better come to US. And just do this to other country.
Okay, so you guys have it. Whether you go for US or Germany, but Manuel, why should we go to the UK? What do you have to tell us? Your final words.
Well, I mean, look, there's no two. I don't think that this is being like a debate, looking for who to win or who to lose. It's generally just giving people an idea of the opportunities available for them should they go into the UK or the US or in Germany. Of course, there are low points in Germany that we've seen. Definitely the language barrier, at least if you are coming out from Ghana into Germany.
Yeah.
But in the US and in the UK, if you have basic English, you are good to go. Because look, even in the UK, a lot of the people over here don't speak as much of the polished English as we do and we're taught in senior high school, in the university and so on. They just invent their own words and their own terms as they move on in life, and it's not as rigid as we used to. So I mean, if you have the basic knowledge in English, you are very good to go. And I would agree with K when he says the culture in the US is really diversified. Of course, there are 50 states in the US. You are definitely going to get so much more. In the UK, the land size is even smaller as compared to the US. But unlike in the US, where you have a lot of one-site campuses, where if you are in Bowling Green, that's your uni, right, Chrissy? If you are in Bowling Green, then you are on one campus. If you are at Harvard, you're on one campus. In the UK, you get to experience the city. So LSE, for instance, has the city campus structure. So you can be walking in London and just enter your one building and go have your lecture, get out, and you're on the road, and then you are enjoying the city. And there's so many other universities that are just like that, found in the heart of the city, unlike elsewhere in the US or in Germany, where you have just one site campuses. You have to go out of your campus to experience town. In the UK, you experience town. I talked about the job opportunities also because of Brexit, the language opportunities, because you can just fit in very easily, and the duration. If you're looking for a quick fix, right? Like you're like me, who is already started working, and you're looking for a credential, a qualification just to add up to your portfolio and become heavier. Instead of doing a 2-year master's in the US, you can do a 1-year master's in the UK. And remember, the quality of teaching is top notch in the UK. I mean, I can say same for the US and Germany also. At least we have a lot of rankings to make reference. So yeah, the quality is there, and so if you are going to use the same qualities anyways, then why not have mine quicker, right? That is the high side of being in a UK university. I don't know if anybody is convinced, but landing, Munko landing. Hamburg into landing. Why?
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining. Let me go through this one quickly. I'm certainly going for the USA this time. But can you throw more lights on schools that has application fee waivers so we could put in applications real quick? At KY is the scholar. I think KY is. I posted the link to your YouTube channel down below, right?
All right. Okay.
You have set videos, or you want to talk about it?
Yeah. Is it juice?
Juice up juice.
Yeah, juice up juice. Well, for application fee waivers, there are a lot of schools that are waiving application fee though, and I don't want to point them out. But the strategy that you can use if you want to come to US is that you can send the graduate coordinator or the program coordinator for the program that you intend to read email about application fee waiver. You can add your document to it for him or her to know that, hey, you're a good student and you want to come study with your university. And at the end, most of them will grant you the application fee waiver. So don't look at, the massive schools that are waiving application fees. You just put in your application fee, but you can sit in your corner and do that research, and you get a lot of application fee waivers for most of US schools. Yeah.
Okay. This one is from Stephen Apia. Says, I'm watching live from South Africa. Okay, thank you, Stephen, from watching from there. Francis says, God really bless you guys. Fidos is Muslim, so I'll say Allah really bless you, Fidos. And Kweku Davisu says, Abuja Kasa ni US. All the rest be annexed.
Hey.
Asemo.
UK internet connection speaking for itself. Oh my God.
You didn't allow me to even provide an explanation for why I went off. A call came through. That is why I went off. Apologies to the call came through. Yes, it's not about internet, please. It's not about internet. The internet
Johnson says, Fidos, can we hear you speak a little German? So Fidos, say hi, bye to us in German.
So you guys, it's one of the reasons you should come study in Germany, because you get to learn another language apart from the English and Tree and Ga, kind of learn German. So what should I say?
Tell them to come and study in the UK in German.
Also, nein, I won't say that. Also, alles Leute, bitte flieg nach Deutschland und studieren. Deutschland ist besser, UK ist scheiße USA ist scheiße. Deutschland is Friedlich. Bitte come here. I'm not going to translate that.
No, now you kind of saying.
I know I heard one word that I
It's
know.
just your book.
And then
So yeah.
Is it better or better?
But yeah.
Joseph Anaglo, am I right? Bring him up. Oh, you came late. We're almost about closing. Enim Tijani says, I would advise Francis to pay up fee. Majority of universities that offers funding will require you to pay application fee. Okay.
Can I clarify that?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Anim, I think you're getting it wrong. It is not entirely true. Because most of the universities that are waiving application fee have a time ban for that. And these people, they do things on fair basis. If you merit it, they will give it to you. So don't think that this university is waiving application fee. So when you put in an application, you are not going to be considered for any package that they have for the program. You will be considered for once you meet the criteria and you have what it takes to take that position, they will give it to you. So don't think about that. Yeah, and you can equally do it yourself. Just ask the program coordinator about the application waiver, and then most of them will be able to grant you that permission to apply to the school for free. But if you don't do that and you see the school have good funding, they have a lot of GA position, just pay and then pray that at the end you'll be considered for one of them. And one more thing I want to send up, I think I've been saying that on my channel a lot of times, that US universities have funding all over. So when you get admission from one school, don't think that you were not considered for funding, so that is the end. You have to do your research about the department within the schools. Just go to the school website. You can type maybe department of this, then you look at maybe student employment, and you see graduate assistantship in most of them. You just apply to it. Don't wait. Don't say, we tend to waste. It happened to me. That is why I'm always advising a lot of people about that. I wasted a lot of money during my time applying to a lot of schools in the US. Whereas I could have just settled on one school, do deep research about funding, and so that is something I want all of you to take care of.
Okay, the final one says, thanks, KY, is following your channel real quick.
Oh, thank you. Juice. Oh.
Yeah, so you guys can follow Fidel's channel at youtube.com/ at Fidaus Usman, and you can also follow KY's channel at youtube.com/ at KY's the Scholar. So the name you see, wait, let me take this one. So the name you see there, just put at there, and then you can get a channel on YouTube. Manuel Cranton is not really a YouTuber. You can follow him on Twitter. He's a verified journalist on Twitter. So just search at Manuel Cranton on Twitter, and you can follow him. He's the most promising journalist in Ghana, still holding the title till someone takes it away. So thank you guys so much.
Make sure you go back because Ghana needs you.
Yeah.
All of us.
I think the year of return secretariat has to kind of appoint KY as an ambassador too. Drag graduates from overseas back to Ghana.
Let's be honest and then true to those that are coming. I'm not saying, if you have that mindset of staying here, you shouldn't go ahead and do so. But the point is, you can't stay here till you die. So you're gonna go back. So for me saying I will go back to Ghana, you have no idea when I will go back to Ghana. I won't go.
The guy says that we have no idea when you go. You can actually go like 20 years later.
Oh no! If it happened after my program of study, I would have to go back. Yeah, I will go. And I said that right now I'm in a STEM program doing information system and data analytics. So after my program, I have 3 years to work. So if at the end I'm going to leverage on that and work, I will leave. But my point is, I will not be in any country illegally. Okay. That is what I'm trying to, send across. You don't have to aim at that because getting a credential is not easy. It is, you have to put in the effort before you get there. So if you stay in a country illegally and at the end of the day, the credential that you've earned becomes one or maybe useless because you have to hustle around to find your way around to fit into the system, and that will not help. So you better go back, try to utilize your knowledge to help the country too as well. Because if Ghana happens to be US, I'm not sure I will travel to any country.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining this live. It's been very informative, and these are videos that could have been done like short, but I'm happy that we were able to get everything in one video. And I thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. Fidaus, you're in your final year. I wish you all the best in your thesis and the craziness in Germany. And KYS, thank you very much, Manuel. We'll talk back door. So, guys, if
Okay.
this is your first time, once again, please subscribe to the channel. My name is Chrissy Live. Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye bye. Tschüss.
Bye.
Bye.